Kewin has a problem with his clutch, and it's the day before we drive down to Canberra for Auto Italia. We are really pressed for time, so what we're going to do is just bleed the system, get the air out of it, and hopefully that'll be enough to get us down to Canberra. What we discovered was the hose to the clutch master seems to be getting jammed or getting air in it when it's pushed all the way in. When it's in this position, it does seem to bleed. So then we just refilled the reservoir and then bled the system. And now to just readjust the clutch and then clean up all the oil that was spilt everywhere. Now to do our final tests and then a drive around the block to make sure everything's working for tomorrow's drive. And then the next day, a group of us drove down to Canberra and Kewin did not have any problems with the clutch. It was great to see so many X19s and members at Auto Italia, but unfortunately Kewin's clutch didn't last. So we simply bled the clutch one more time, pulling back that hose, and it worked like it did before. Kewin then drove back to Sydney without any incidences. So now back in Sydney a week later, looking above the pedal box without taking it out, you can see there's no oil anywhere. So now we're going to take out all the oil from the reservoir. Next, I'm going to use this bottle with some oil at the bottom, then put this hose onto the bleed nipple itself, and then open up the valve. Now to make sure this hose is all the way out, and then bleed the system dry. Now with the system empty, we disconnected the hose from the master and then pulled it out. And would be a good idea to take these grills off to get better access. Now to take off the reservoir and then pull the hose back entirely. We are doing this to check the hose for any leaks because it's quite a solid and original hose. Putting some air pressure down there and putting my finger over the other end, I can't hear or feel any leaks. So this eliminated the hose. So this only leaves the connector. So we're going to pop that off and take a look. I'm now testing the connector with air pressure and it doesn't have any leaks. So this clutch master cylinder is not from the car but a spare that I had, including the rubber piece and the plastic piece here. The rubber on the left is from Kewin's car and the one on the right is the spare. You can see how it's starting to lift and come apart. I'm starting to suspect that's where the air is coming in from. So we're going to replace the rubber with a spare and I'm just greasing it up with some rubber grease. The plastic piece that sits inside is looking a bit worn and a bit black for some reason, so I'm going to use the other second-hand one. We've replaced the rubber with a second-hand good one and also replaced the top plastic part as well. And now that it's in place, it's also moving freely. And now it's just a matter of rethreading through the original hose. The original Cavis hose is so good, it's quite sturdy and strong, and you put some heat on it, then it allows you to bend it and form it to shape, and as it cools it keeps its shape. So using a little bit of heat to soften it up and then pushing it over the plug. So now it's time to just do a thorough clean to make sure there's no oil and nothing corrodes. Just below the reservoir you can see how the paint is flaking off. The oil has come out at some point and dripped on there and soaked through the paint. So Kewin's going to scrape all the excess paint off and see what we're dealing with underneath. So we're going to degrease the entire site as well as wash it down and then give it a good flush. We then used a wire brush to clean up any rust or any loose paint and then dried it with a heat gun. We then used a rust protection paint that goes straight on top of bare metal. So now to reattach the hose to the reservoir and then attach it back to the car. So now to just refill the reservoir and then rebleed the system. And seeing that the seat is out already, we're going to use some white grease on the rails and also on the back of the seat rails as well. This will allow the seat to move a little bit more freely. So now it's just a matter of test driving and time to see if the fix works permanently. For more videos, information and Club Day events, visit our website at x19.com.au or fiatclub.net.au. And while visiting the website, click on the Facebook link to join the Facebook group, as well as follow our Instagram feeds. And once again, thanks for watching.